Patterns by Heinrich Wohlfart. Now, this piece, I think it's rather sweet because, again, it's in a 5-finger position, rather like the first piece that we looked at. But it's interesting the way that the 5-finger position is dealt with. So if I play you, let me play you a little bit of it. Now the second half, different pattern. Now let's have a little look at that, what's going on in this piece. So 5-finger positions in both hands, and I'm going to say the same thing as I said in the previous video, just in case you didn't see it, that when we're playing in 5-finger positions, we need to mobilize our hand. Let's look at how the right hand might be mobilized. So not this, please don't do this, don't copy this at home. I'm already feeling tension in my hand just from doing that a couple of times. How do I move? Can you see that I'm making a circle with my wrist? And it's known as a wrist circle. And what wrist circles tend to do is in the right hand, virtually 99% of the time, they're going to move in an anti-clockwise direction. And I feel that my pinky is lifting up. And my thumb is brushing off and away underneath the hand. So that it's not really a circle, it's actually an ellipse that I'm creating here. And when I get to the end of the line, I'm just enjoying the bounce that I make in my right arm. That's fun. You know, playing the piano should be fun. It should feel good in the body. That feels really good. Now see if I can do that softly and evenly. You see, this is the thing. People say, oh, I can't do my 5 fingers evenly because I'm only a beginner on the piano. If you're moving correctly, it should be easy to play this. It should not feel difficult to play this evenly. And phrase off. End the phrase with a little micro diminuendo. That's just musical, that's naturally musical. Now let's have a look at the left hand. I'm playing a broken chord of C major, so I might want to block that out first. I could even do this while I'm learning my right hand. All I've done is put my left hand onto the position. Now when I'm ready to make my left hand open up, can you see what I'm doing there? Again, I've got a wrist circle going on in my left hand. And that, again, keeps me very free. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Rest. And the rest is where we breathe, because all music needs to breathe. So the pattern there, where we already had 2 patterns. We've had a pattern of quavers in one hand and crotchets in the other for bars 1 and 2. The second pattern in bars 3 and 4 was where we had crotchets in both hands. And then in bar 8, we had a different pattern where we just have a minim with a rest, a half note with a rest. Bars 9 and 10. See if you can tell me what's going on here. Both hands doing exactly the same thing. Short, long, short, long. And the accent goes to the long note, to the minim. Now, you notice when I clapped, because clapping is always very good for anything rhythmical, that I put the stress onto the minim as marked. And the other thing I did was I felt the length of the minim. I didn't do this. Right? I did. Can you feel me giving length to that minim as I clap? So in any kind of clapping activity that we might do with our pupils, clap rhythmically, not just counting or keeping time. You use the body. Then we get, what do we get after that? Let's see. By the way, make a little gap after each bar. Breathe. Breathe. Crotchets in the left hand, quavers in the right hand. That's the same as pattern number 1, but the notes are different. Again, how do I move in the right hand? Can you see the mobility there? Compared with this, don't do this. The reason I make a point of this is because a lot of us were taught this from the very beginning. Fix the hand, and the unspoken command was lock the wrist, and you'll get stronger as you go along. Well, it's a very bad way of playing the instrument. That's much more natural, and it's easy to do. It feels good in the body. What happens next? Now we might, since this is the end of the piece, we might want to make a crescendo to the end and end brightly, since we're in a forte place there. Or we could soften it a little bit and just round off the piece.